Alex never planned to fall into financial chaos. Just happened. One small habit at a time. One delayed bill at a time. One I'll check my balance later at a time. Until the numbers stopped making sense and everything started to feel heavy. It all hit on a cold Monday morning. Still half asleep, Alex opened the banking app expecting the usual low balance. But instead, a red message flashed across the screen, pulsing like a warning light. The balance wasn't just low, it was negative. The screen read, "Account overdrawn, minus $76.24. No heading. No drama. Just cold, hard reality staring back. Alex blinked, hoping it was an error. It wasn't. Another overdraft fee had pushed the account into the negative again. Another penalty. Another reminder that life was slipping out of control. How did it get this bad? Alex whispered under the breath, an honest question with no simple answer. Bills waiting like traps. 14 unread payment reminders. Electricity overdue. Credit card minimum due in 48 hours. Internet company threatening to shut the service off again. Alex felt the familiar wave of panic tightening in the chest. Not because the bills were unexpected, but because they had become normal. A part of life. A cycle of stress and short-term fixes. But this morning felt different. The fear was different. The weight was different. The slow fall into money chaos. Most people think financial disaster comes from one bad decision. But Alex knew the truth. It was death by 1,000 cuts. $6 morning coffee. 2 food deliveries a week. Streaming services piling up. Buy now pay later temptations. Swiping credit cards without checking balances. I deserve this purchases after a long day. Individually harmless. Together? A financial avalanche. Alex had been avoiding the bank app for weeks, pretending it would somehow get better on its own. But avoidance doesn't fix money problems, it makes them grow silently in the background. Emotional breakdown. The stress wasn't just about being broke. It was the shame. The fear of not knowing what to do. The guilt of repeating the same habits. The anxiety of waiting for another unexpected fee. Alex sat on the edge of the bed, hands covering the face, replaying the same thought over and over. I work so hard, so why do I feel like I'm always drowning? It was a question millions of people silently ask themselves every single day. This wasn't about intelligence, or education, or even income. It was about never being taught how to manage money. The turning point. For the first time, Alex didn't run from the problem. Didn't close the app. Didn't pretend everything was fine. This time, Alex breathed deeply and said softly, "Enough. I have to fix this." It wasn't motivation. It wasn't inspiration. It was exhaustion, the kind that forces change. And in that moment, something shifted. For the first time in years, Alex felt a small spark. Hope. Not because the situation improved, but because finally, the truth was no longer being ignored. Beginner financial lesson hidden in the story. You can't change what you don't acknowledge. Ignoring your money is the real enemy. Alex didn't want to open the notebook. It sat on the kitchen table like a mirror, one of those mirrors that doesn't lie, doesn't flatter, doesn't soften the truth. A blank page that would soon be filled with all the mistakes, all the numbers, all the financial chaos that had been ignored for years. But today felt different. Running wasn't an option anymore. Alex took a breath, flipped the notebook open, and grabbed a pen. "Let's see the damage," Alex whispered, though the voice shook slightly. The first blow, debt. The credit card statement was the first thing to face. A $1,900 balance. Minimum payment due in 2 days. Interest rate, 28%. Alex stared at the numbers, feeling a hot wave of embarrassment. I don't even remember what I bought that added up to this. That was the painful part. It wasn't a luxury purchase. It wasn't a vacation. It wasn't something meaningful. Just small things. Food deliveries. New shoes that were worn twice. A couple of impulsive gadget buys. Monthly subscriptions forgotten and automatically renewed. None of it felt harmful at the time. Yet here it was, a wall of debt built with tiny bricks of careless spending. The second blow, hidden fees. Then came the bank statements. That's when Alex noticed something infuriating. $15 overdraft fee. $29 overdraft fee. $15 overdraft fee. $29 overdraft fee. Month after month. This wasn't bad luck. This was a pattern. A money bleed that happened silently. That's almost $300 gone. For nothing. Alex's stomach twisted. Most people think losing money means spending it. But sometimes the biggest losses come from not paying attention. Subscriptions, the silent killers. Then came the subscription sheet. There were more than Alex expected. $14.99 for streaming. $9.99 for another streaming. $5.99 for a game that hasn't been opened in 6 months. $12.99 for a fitness app not used since January. $4.99 for cloud storage from a backup that didn't even work anymore. And the worst part, Alex didn't even remember signing up for half of them. Individually harmless. Together a storm. That's over $60 a month wasted. In a year, that was more than $700. Money that could have gone towards savings. Money that could have prevented overdrafts. Money that could have helped Alex breathe again. Missed opportunities. Then a thought hit Alex hard. What if I had taken all this wasted money and saved it? It wasn't regret, it was realization. Small amounts matter. Small habits matter. Small decisions shape your financial future far more than one big purchase. Alex remembered a friend who started investing just $25 a week 2 years ago. Nothing crazy. Just small, consistent contributions. That friend now had over $3,000 saved. I could have done that, easily. The pain wasn't from the lost money. It was from the lost potential. The emotional reality check. At this point, Alex wasn't sad. Alex was angry. Not at the banks. Not at fees. Not at prices. But at the avoidance. At the years spent hiding from numbers. At the belief that it will fix itself one day. Money problems don't fix themselves. They grow in the dark. And Alex had been keeping them in the dark for too long. Tension built in Alex's throat as the truth finally landed. I did this to myself. But that means I can fix it. That was the first moment empowerment replaced fear. Tracking every expense a new rule. Alex made a decision. From this moment forward, every dollar spent would be tracked. Every subscription reviewed. Every fee challenged. Every purchase questioned. Not to become cheap, but to become aware. Money doesn't disappear. It leaks. And now Alex was finally seeing every leak one by one. Lessons hidden in the story. Without even knowing it, Alex had learned the first powerful financial truths. Debt is rarely one big decision, it's the sum of tiny careless ones. Knowledge of where the money went is the beginning of control. Overdraft fees aren't bad luck. They are signals. Signals that the system is broken and needs redesigning. Subscriptions feel cheap but cost more than people realize. They drain silently. Tracking every expense is not a punishment, it's freedom. You can't control what you don't measure. Facing the truth hurts, but it also heals. Avoidance is more painful than honesty. The emotional shift. Alex leaned back in the chair, surrounded by papers, bills, statements, and a messy handwritten list of expenses. It looked overwhelming, but it finally made sense. The chaos had a shape now. The storm had a name. The enemy was clear. For the first time ever, Alex knew the truth. This isn't the end. This is the beginning. And with that realization, Alex felt something unfamiliar. Control. The journey wasn't going to be easy, but it was going to be real. The next morning, Alex woke up with a strange mix of exhaustion and determination. Last night's financial autopsy wasn't easy, but it did something important. It cleared the fog. Today wasn't about emotions. Today was about numbers. Alex grabbed a fresh cup of coffee, opened the notebook again, and whispered, "Let's map everything." This wasn't just budgeting. This was understanding an entire financial life for the first time. Step 1. Income. Finding the truth about what's coming in. Alex wrote the first heading in the notebook. Income. It felt simple, obvious, yet surprisingly unclear. Alex earned about the same each month, and so it seemed. But after checking the bank deposits, something became clear. The actual take-home pay was consistently lower than Alex thought. Taxes, insurance deductions, missing overtime, occasional unpaid hours. They all shaped the real income. Alex did the math. What I think I earn versus what I actually get, those are two different stories. Seeing the real number felt grounding. Finally, there was a starting point. Step 2. Monthly fixed expenses. The unavoidable pillars. Next came the fixed expenses. Rent, utilities, internet, phone, transportation, minimum debt payments. These were the pillars of life, non-negotiables. Step 3. Variable spending. The real chaos. Then came the part Alex dreaded. Variable spending. Food. Takeout. Transport. Shopping. Coffee. Random buys from apps and impulse moments. Alex traced back through the statements, and the truth came out. The spending wasn't wild or reckless. It was messy. Small amounts everywhere. $7 here. $14 there. $22 for a midnight craving. $3.99 charges no one remembers signing up for. Not destructive. Just unplanned. Alex sighed. This is where the money slips away. It wasn't the big expenses. It was the invisible ones. Step 4. Subscriptions. The silent drain revisited. Alex turned the notebook page and made a new list. Subscriptions. Even after last night's review, seeing them in one place felt shocking. 8 different subscriptions. Out of those 8, only 3 were being used consistently. Alex circled the unused ones and felt a small burst of power. These go first. It was the first easy win. Step 5. Debt. The mountain. Alex flipped to another page titled Debt Breakdown. Not just the total number but the details. Minimum payment, interest rate, due date, remaining balance. What used to look like a giant boulder now looked like separate pieces. Alex realized something. It's not one giant monster. It's a few smaller ones. When you break down the enemy, it becomes less terrifying. The first financial map ever. By the time Alex finished, the notebook was filled with every income source, every fixed expense, every variable spend, every subscription, every debt, every leak, every pattern. For the first time in years, Alex could see the financial life that had always existed but never been examined. The chaos wasn't chaos anymore. It was a map. A messy map, sure. But a map nonetheless. And maps lead somewhere. Alex leaned back and felt an unexpected sense of peace, not because the problems were solved, but because they finally made sense. Alex sat on the bed, staring at pages of financial chaos. The map was complete, but something felt off. I know the problem. But why did I create this problem? Alex whispered. Information alone doesn't change a life, mindset does. Looking in the mirror, Alex saw the patterns causing the chaos. Suddenly it clicked. I act broke not because I lack money but because I think like someone always behind. Avoiding bills. Buying to feel better. Saying I'll fix it next month. These weren't money problems, they were mindset viruses. Alex wrote 2 headings: broke mindset versus rich mindset. Broke. Money is stressful. I'll start saving next month. I deserve a treat. Rich. I control my money. Every dollar has a purpose. Consistency beats motivation. For the first time, Alex realized, I don't need more money. I need a new identity. And chose it. I am someone who manages money intentionally. The next morning, Alex opened a blank page. My beginner budget. Day 1. Budgeting wasn't punishment, it was freedom. 4 simple categories: needs, wants, savings, debt, with a starting split. 50%, 30%, 10/10. Facing real numbers: rent, groceries, takeout, snacks. Alex wrote the rule that changed everything. The first $10 saved matters more than the first $1,000. A simple system followed. Weekly routine. Review spending, adjust categories, move leftovers to savings, celebrate small wins. Small buffer, $20% week for surprises. Budgeting became reflection, not restriction. After building a budget and cutting waste, Alex faced the next step: saving and earning more. The first $1,000 in savings felt like proof control was possible, but income needed a boost. Alex listed skills: freelance writing, video editing, microtasks, helping neighbors. The first $50 earned online wasn't huge, but it proved one thing: action creates results. Each month, Alex added one small income stream, building momentum and confidence. Automation became the game changer. Salary, side hustles, bills, and savings were all set to auto-pay and auto-transfer. Weekly and monthly reviews kept things on track. Money now worked even when Alex wasn't actively managing it. Habits reinforced identity. Daily checks, weekly reflections, and monthly planning created consistency. Fear turned to control, chaos to clarity. Long-term goals were set. Emergency fund, $5,000. Investments, diversified portfolio. Career growth, skill expansion. Freedom milestones, travel, personal projects. Alex realized wealth isn't about sudden windfalls. It's small, consistent, intentional actions compounded over time. Money became a tool, not a threat. Looking at the notebook filled with charts and plans, Alex smiled. This is just the beginning. With the right mindset, habits, and systems, anything is possible.